Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our healthcare accounting course. My name is Chris Gibbons. I'm going to be your instructor for the 6 weeks that we have left in the course. We've already finished week 1, and you've probably noticed some changes. The first change is the landing page, that page that you land on when you enter the course. That first week, I like to keep that static page up there. That is kind of the generic course information in there, has the syllabus in there. But going forward now to the end of the course, you're going to see this area. Well, of course, where the video was at. You're going to see this news area. Now make sure that before you go into the modules and start doing your work and submitting your assignments, that you take a look at this area and see if there's any new videos posted. Because I'll use it as kind of like a video blog throughout the course. And I usually post once a week, sometimes twice. And it's usually to clarify any issues that we might be having in the course or make changes. This course changes every time that I run it. And it really depends on the individual groups of students and what's going on that particular semester. So I'd anticipate some changes as well for this course. But the only way you're going to know about those changes is to watch these videos. And I guarantee you this, none of the changes add work. So we're making changes to there. Maybe we're reducing an assignment or clarifying an assignment or totally deleting an assignment. Maybe we're tossing in some extra credit in there. But I'm never adding anything to you than what we have right now. So it's to your advantage to make sure you watch these videos because you never know. You might have a little easier job in completing this course. A couple of things just to mention before we jump into this week's work. That I know that accounting can be a difficult subject for most students, if not all of them. It's unfamiliar territory to most people. It's like learning a new language, and I'll mention that a couple of times, if not more, throughout the course. It's really the language of business is accounting, and as managers, as leaders, some of you are managers now, some of you will become managers in the future. That understanding the accounting language is absolutely necessary. And the reason that's necessary is that we want you to make better decisions. As a manager, that's what you're paid to do. You're paid to make decisions. And understanding that foundational language is important because a huge majority, if not, I would argue, all decisions have a financial component to them, okay? And it's usually not that hard to find the financial component to any managerial decision that you're making. So that language of finance is obviously accounting, so we have to understand those basics. Are you going to be an accountant? No. We're not going to train you to be an accountant in this course. That's not even the objective. Are you going to play around with some accounting exercises and some more, dare I say, like math type stuff? Yes, we're going to play around with some of that stuff. But don't let it freak you out. Just do the best that you can as we move through the course. I'll guarantee you this. So that you'll do some of these accounting assignments where, again, students will say math, but you can easily get an A in this course and not have one numerically correct answer. Okay? So let that sink in. You can do that. So for example, like when we do have these numerical assignments, you can easily score 90% of that correct. Okay? If you put forth good faith effort, like, okay, look, they set it up correctly. Some parts were wrong here, but still, I can award you, 90% of that for that particular question. And then as long as you do all the other stuff in the course, like this week, we have a written assignment. We'll talk about that in a moment. Making sure that you're putting forth your best efforts, I should say, good faith efforts in those assignments. You'll easily get an A in the course. Okay, so that's not a problem. Where do students get a B? How do they get a C? Or worse, it's missing assignments. It's almost always missing assignments. Look, occasionally we mail in an assignment. I get it. You're busy that week, things go crazy, you mail it in, you know it's not your best effort, but for that week, maybe that was your best effort. That's fine. And that usually won't hurt a student. I get that won't hurt a student over the long term of the course. But if you do that every week, kind of mailing it in, then yes, you can end up getting a B in the course. But for the most part, it's usually those missing assignments that will lower you full letter grades. So again, do everything that's in the course. Do your best effort on it. I don't want you freaked out or stressed out, especially this summer in completing the assignments, and hopefully they don't overtax you as you're going through the course. All right, so there's a little bit about that. So hopefully I'm talking some of you off the ledge as we're getting started on week 2. Now, let's take a look at week 2 as I'm talking about hopefully bringing down some of the anxiety level here. Let's take a look at what we're doing this week. So we're going to go into the modules and we'll scroll down. Okay, so relax a little bit, take a breath. This week, well, let me back up and tell you about some changes at the college. If you haven't heard about it, hopefully you have, but if you haven't heard about it, the college is moving to 15-week semesters. And that transition starts this summer. For some of you that are new, maybe you just started your programs this summer, you probably don't know what that means. Traditionally, going back way back when, you have there's quarters out there, but nobody uses quarters. When I was at Ohio State, they used quarters, but nobody uses quarters anymore, I think. Everybody's using the semester model. So you have fall, spring, summer, those 3 semesters. Fall and spring are traditionally 16 weeks, and summer was 12. That's pretty big difference. Kind of, especially nowadays, students, go year round. Very few folks are doing the traditional taking my summers off thing. So we have decided to go to 15-week semesters equally across the board. Okay. Now, what that's caused is some changes within your courses. So for those of you that are in the healthcare administration program, medical imaging, or a lot of our other online programs that have these 8-week courses, we've had to tweak them a bit, right? Because we don't want overlapping courses. Trust me, I've done this. I've been here for 13 years. We've tried all different types of experiments. The thing that works best are non-overlapping courses, and the sweet spot was right around 8 weeks. That was the perfect spot. Well, we're a little smidge off of perfect now because we're now going to 7-week classes. So this class is only 7 weeks long, but it will not overlap with your other course. So in order to keep that overlap from happening, we have removed 1 week. And from going forward, all of your healthcare administration classes, all of your medical imaging classes, or many of your other courses, if you're on an online program, will be 7 weeks. Here's another wonderful thing that's happening. Not this summer. This is kind of our little transition-y summer, so keep that in mind. But you are 7 weeks this summer. So you have your first class and your second class, 7 weeks. When we get fully implemented with the new 15-week semester in the fall, you now have a 1-week gap in between classes, which is great. So you'll be able to recharge your batteries, take a break. So you'll always have a break between classes. Every class will have a nice break to it. So I think that's a real advantage for students to recharge their batteries, especially our students who are working professionals. They're working 40 hours a week. They may have family, kids, all this other stuff in their life too, and they're going to school. Now we've got this break, this nice break that will be programmed in between your courses starting this fall. Okay, so there's that change. So 7 weeks, guys, not 8. If you're normally used to 8 weeks, those are gone. All right, so with that, the way that this course, it fit so nicely in an 8-week format because we covered 8 chapters. This book was like geared. Well, I have some problems with the book. So I know you're going to get in this textbook and you go, ugh, okay. But for the most part, this is like the best book for finance and accounting out there, but it's a little too in depth. Don't let that, just do the best you can. Don't freak out completely because it's written for both undergrad and graduate courses. But it is a great book. Has plenty of depth in there if you want it. But it worked out. We have the first half is accounting, the second half is finance in that textbook. It just worked out perfectly. 8 chapters. Great. So we've now gone to the 7-week format. This week is the week of double up in a way. Okay, so don't let it, shouldn't be too bad, but probably out of all of the modules that you do, this one might feel a little bit more hectic. But I'm going to show you what we've done. We've extended some due dates out here, hopefully to help you out a little bit. So this week, module 2, you're going to have, again, 2 different, pretty much each module typically will match to 1 chapter. This week, 2 chapters. I do want to show, some of you have mentioned to me that, a couple of you have texted me that you don't have the textbook yet. Okay, I do have the textbook readings. Make sure I have it in there for module 2. We'll check that in a second. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so if you need it, okay, the chapter 2 is in a PDF format if you don't have the textbook yet. So that is there for you if you need it. Let's go back to modules. If you don't have the textbook by the end of this week, please let me know. The publisher gets a little, well, they could get a little angry at me if I keep giving away the textbook for free. So they're normally, there is a rule actually out there. I went to court. You can do up to 25% of a book. It's called fair usage. Anything beyond that, they could come back to me for copyright infringement. So I think we're good for about the first 3 chapters, but let's not, let me know if you don't have the book by the end of this week, okay? But we do have for those of you that don't, again, you can keep doing your work. We've got those PDFs in there for you. All right, so that covers that. 2 chapters, PDF readings are in there. I did delete some of the work out of here, believe it or not. So all you have to do this week is 1 learning activity and 1 module quiz. So that's where it shouldn't be too bad. So the learning activity this week is going to be that paper. So there's no math involved. Okay, you're going to write a 2-page paper on health insurance. And you're going to take a quiz this week. So not too bad. And here's the other thing that I've stretched it out to. I know that we have a holiday coming up. So we have Memorial Day, right? Or is it Labor Day? That's horrible. Let me look at my calendar, guys. It is, oh, it's Memorial Day. All right, there we go. Memorial Day. I always get the 2 confused. So we have Memorial Day weekend coming up. I know some of you guys are going to be doing stuff with your families and whatnot. So I've extended the due dates for this module until Tuesday. Okay? So you got some extra time. But you can hand it in whenever you want. Totally up to you. But no later than, Tuesday at midnight, June 1st. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more breathing room because I know that this particular module is a little beefy, and we do have that holiday weekend in there. After that, we're kind of on our same 1 module, 1 chapter reading every, going forward to the end of the class. We do have a midterm coming up next week. I'll talk more about that next week and even give you guys a little bit of a preview of what the midterm looks like. All right, so that kind of covers it. A little bit long. These will normally go shorter than that, about 5 minutes, but I want to introduce myself, talk about some hot buttons with this particular course. Again, just do your best effort, and I know you guys will do absolutely fantastic. Some of you have already done it. Some of you I've had for other classes, but typically the best way to get a hold of me is to text me. You can see my my cell phone number down below, so feel free to message me that way if I'm driving, or it's sometimes on the weekends are a little crazy, but That's probably the quickest way. Email, you can obviously still do that as well. But if usually for quick responses, like this morning, someone said, hey, there's no due dates on the module. Well, I don't have any I didn't have any pre-programmed due dates in there at that time. I had just a written text due dates in there, but that made me think, hey, maybe I should go in there and look at the due dates. And then I remembered we had the holiday weekend, so that prompted me to extend those out. So there's one of our first changes in the course. Extended out the traditional Sunday due date to Tuesday. So there you go. You didn't know that unless you watched the video. Well, and of course now you're going to see the due dates on those assignments. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Everybody have a fantastic week. And if nothing else happens, I won't check in with you until, probably after the holiday weekend. So everybody have a great week and a wonderful holiday weekend. Thanks.